Hello, everyone. Welcome. Thank you so much, Faiz, for sparing this time. And I would like to welcome you for this candid conversation that we are having. For the community that is watching me, thank you so much for sparing the time and listening to me. As you're all aware that I'm trying to build a cohesive community that is collaborating and developing by helping each other. And one of the baby steps of this is to introduce community individuals who are doing exceptional work and community individuals who are starting their entrepreneurial journey to the community. So it's an introduction of a community member to the community. Welcome, Faiz. Thank you so much for sparing the time and coming down.
Thank you, Said bhai. Most welcome.
Okay. Look, this is just a conversation. I'm trying to learn from you. I'm also an entrepreneur, and I believe that people who listen to these conversations, when they listen to us, they seek inspiration, they get motivated, and they try to come out of their comfort zone and try and see and explore those ideas that are sitting in their head for a long time and try and do something. So before we go any further, I would like if you would introduce yourself to the community. What do you do? What's your background? And what made you do what you're trying to do now?
Thank you, Said bhai. So as a background, I come from an accounting background. I moved to Sydney in 2004, and I had my chance to move over to Perth, working for an oil and gas industry. Prior to that, I had my post-graduation in accounting, which made me move to Perth, and then eventually 2015 I moved to Melbourne, made it my home, and I think we're just enjoying here with our family and three kids. The business we've got, Royal Events, is certainly which I had always wanted since I was a child. We come from an event background, so my father, my uncles are all part of a business, and have been since the mid-70s. Alhamdulillah, so I had that knowledge passed on from them. Obviously, I was not using it until the last year. I think COVID gave me time to think about, taking my thoughts to the next level and getting this out in the community as well.
Yeah, are you enjoying Melbourne? Are you loving it?
I am certainly. Apart from the cold weather, I think from Sydney to Perth and back to Melbourne, I think Melbourne has been the coldest of all.
I personally think that Melbourne is pretty much Hyderabad. So the culture, the environment, at least for people among us where we live, it truly feels as if we are in Hyderabad. We'll find more people of acquaintance in Melbourne than in Hyderabad today.
We do.
Yeah. While you were telling that your family background has this event management experience, and tell us something about it, and tell us how does it actually help you in doing your business here? Because it's two different countries, two different cultures, and obviously there's a wealth of knowledge and experience coming from your elders, like your father, your uncles, and obviously your brothers, and that will add a lot of value. And even if we have come out of the country, we believe we are still in that Hyderabadi mindset over here. Our culture, our needs are pretty much the same, and I think that will help you to cater to the needs of the people locally, I guess. Is that right?
Yeah, that's true, Said bhai. As you mentioned, certainly there are things which I've learned over the period. Obviously, it has been, nurtured through, daily visits or visiting my dad's shop. So obviously, if people know Nawaz and Company, which my dad and uncles own together, so we've been supporting like various public events. So supporting at Eidgah Mir Alam, organizing these public events. We have like hundreds of thousands of people attending. So like a normal Eid prayer would be like anywhere from 200,000 to 300,000 at Eidgah Mir Alam. Juma is almost all the way from Makkah Masjid down all the way to Pattargati Marina building. So we like arranging this the audio PA for Waqf board or for the authorities in general, and then always Hyderabadi's favorites for some reason AIMIM. So we do organize events at Darus Salam as well. So it's a massive taking, and I think my dad has always been that core front for them to support them, and pertaining to people choices and what they prefer. Obviously, the mindset, be it in India or be it in Australia, for the people is still the same. They still want to have the same sort of decor done for their wedding. So it's not in their mind, it's more like, I want to get this done here. So they want something back home, they want to have it here. So I think for me, it has helped me being part of a family which has been doing this for years and decades. With my brother's support, obviously, it wouldn't have happened. My brother is back home. He was in Australia, but he moved across to India to support my dad during COVID and my parents together. And so now he's currently managing Navas Function Hall as such. So he's been helping me out as well. So if I were in a situation, obviously, he's always there to guide me. And you know, not just them. I think I've got friends here which are like quite dear to me, who always supported me during my time. I think the initial stages of the business obviously is quite hard when you don't have any support, like being by myself, and you have something come up and you go through various situations, and some co-friends I can say they've been very helpful and kind enough to help me out middle of the night as well.
Okay, that's actually good. And one of the key things because I go through this entrepreneurial journey, I speak to a lot of entrepreneurs, friends, they are very important. Especially those friends who are willing to stand, who are willing to give you an helping hand, and also give you that little bit of inspiration and support. Yeah, you can do it. Don't worry, go for it. That makes a hell lot of a difference, especially when you're low. And in an entrepreneurial journey, it's like a sinusoidal wave. It's every day is a new day. It goes up and down, up and down. And if you don't have good friends who don't motivate you, then you collapse. And I'm sure you're lucky enough that you have got some good friends. And I pray that all of the entrepreneurs should get some good friends, because the friends are the ones who will make the difference. Those are the ones who inspire, who motivate, and who push you to take your capabilities to the next level. Well, that's good. I always think that our needs are changing as a community. We all over here are a community which is like 20 years old. The senior most among us probably has come 22 years ago. And our needs have been changing. Initially, we were getting PRs, then we got married, then we got kids. And now we are in a stage where our kids are going to get married over here. And obviously, that has surged a lot of demand for community businesses that are catering to specific event management like this. And I believe that there is a lot of opportunity in event management. What do you think? And how are you maneuvering yourself in this very complex world of finding work as an entrepreneur and balancing between your work and then your business?
Yeah, I think it's certainly a bit challenging. And in terms of people moving here in Australia, it also becomes difficult for them to make a choice whether they have a wedding in Australia or they have a wedding back home. Either or, they're still going to have some sort of an event or gathering here to invite their friends or family. As kids grow out as well, they're going to have their own friends and extended families here eventually. And I think this is the main reason why we thought about this event business and said the community actually needs someone and to cater for what the traditional ways are. And we certainly believe we can offer that service to keep the traditions alive as well, in terms of your events on a say from pre-wedding all the way to your Mehndi Sangeet, or be it any other get-together event. So it's not just that as well. So we also cater for, say, birthday parties or a smaller event or a gathering, or even to say corporate events. We can organize for that as well. So there is a lot of scope within this, and I feel that people will certainly look out for assistance and look at Royal Events like we are always there to assist anyone who needs help, or even a bit of advice as to how we can do things within a budget.
Yeah. And look, there are many people that I speak to on a regular basis. They've got great ideas. They are having excellent value propositions, but they're not able to jump the comfort zone to make it actually happen. Now, I know that you're working and then you started this as an entrepreneurial journey as well. What is that difference between them and you? How did you actually jump? How did you actually overcome that initial inertia or resistance of not doing it? Because majority of the people are having that stigma of not doing it. While they have great values, their value proposition is great, their ideas is great, their skill set is great, but they are not able to jump. What is your advice for them, and how did you overcome that?
Well, I think I'm probably in an early stages of my own business, and I may not be in a position to advise someone how to do it. But certainly, as you say, within the community, be it males or females, women or boys or girls, there is a huge talent out there, and it's just that they don't take that additional step. For me, it has certainly been challenging, and I think without your friends or family support, it wouldn't have happened. So, I've got my wife, my kids here. Managing between work is certainly not easy. Sometimes I do have events, and I'm there packing up things at middle of the night, like 2 o'clock, and then I've got to come back home and get back to work at 8 in the morning. So those are the things I think which will always be there until eventually I may have to like move out or give something a priority, or if I have a team who can support me while I'm not there. But for people, I think if they do have a talent and they know what's inside them, I think they should just go ahead and take that initial step at least, or reach out to mentors who can maybe advise them, what next they could take. Certainly.
Yeah, I truly understand the importance of mentorship and the negligence of our community towards mentorship. People need to understand that mentorship is essential, especially with people who have got grassroots level or real life experiences. They need to go and speak to the right people, get inspired, or not get the know-how of how to crack or break open the glass ceiling, and that can be achieved easily, fastly by a very good mentor. And I wanted to ask you, how does your wife react to this? You're working, you've got a business, and you've got 3 kids. I hope she's very supportive to you.
She has certainly been very supportive in this adventure, I'd say.
Yeah, yeah.
uh, I've got younger kids, so I've got the youngest one is now 4 years old. So obviously there can be a few challenges out there as well with the kids, managing them and organizing between school and work yourself. So the weekend sometimes can get crazy, and it is sadly the reality that I might not have to be at home sometimes, even for the whole day. And by the time I get back, the kids are back to sleep. So yeah, it is a bit challenging, but I think these are the initial few years where everyone has to just sacrifice for a bit, and she certainly is helping me out as well while I'm back at home.
And one of the questions that I always ask to people who come to such candid conversations is, because I believe we all are working. We all are working in our own capacities, our own individual capabilities to bring some sort of a positive change or some sort of a contribution to the community. We want to bring some change, and we all have to do it collectively. So I want to understand what is your aspiration? What are your dreams of the community? How can we work towards that dreams?
Yeah, I think as you initially pointed out earlier in the call, where the trust level is quite low within the community, I think generally there are quite a few Hyderabadi communities out there, but certainly the bonding between the families or between the friends is as not as strong enough as it's supposed to be. So once you have that strong bonding, I've been part of a Hyderabadi community myself, and what I noted was, that bonding, once it's there, everyone's out there to help you out, support, and it's not that our community doesn't do it. And I'm aware that in situations where there's emergency uh, in a certain house or a family, our people just are the first one to like rush through and help them out at any situation, be it middle of the night or any time of the day. So I think that bonding is something which we actually need, which will build up that trust level between people and eventually open up opportunities for Hyderabadi and even like indirectly the Indian community as such.
Okay. So if I ask you in a statement, what is your dream of the community? What you want to do? What is the change that you want to see in among us?
I see a lot of caring and loving between the community and eventually the kids, and they keep their traditions alive as well.
I think that's important. See, because we all came at once. The bonding that we have is different because majority of us used to stay together in the youth. Then
Yeah.
once we finished our education, we got married, and then the bonding has extended from there on. Our kids didn't get that opportunity. They are in a different. They go in different schools. Their way of looking at life is quite different. But I think we need to somehow build this bond of love that is coming from our generation to the next generation and slowly pass it on. It will dilute, that is natural, but we can extend that dilution period. And one of the key things that we can do is by bringing people across the board in a cohesive, collaborative environment. And what we are doing now is one of that steps, that how we bring businesses within the community and make them work in a cohesive or a collaborative environment, how we can help each other, spreading the word of the value proposition of the businesses that we do, and how we can support each other. And I think you will agree with me in this way.
I totally agree, and I'm aware that some of my friends have actually mentioned your name as in terms of supporting the community in general as well. So you are certainly an inspiration for the community with your not-for-profit things you do just for the sake of good around the community, and I really get inspired as well with those thoughts, and getting the community together, getting the businesses for the Hyderabadi communities together. I think that's a great idea, and I'm looking forward to work with the community in wide.
Yeah. And I hope the people who are listening to this conversation will support you, will support you not only in your business, but will also support you in terms of inspiring you to take that higher steps. And this is a very scalable business because our needs are growing, our community is growing, and I believe that as time passes, more and more events will be happening and more requirements coming. Can you just in a run in a very short way explain us what's your vision of your business in the coming 5 to 10 years?
Look, it's hard to imagine with the needs of community growing so fast. It's just been a year for me in the business, fairly new as well, but alhamdulillah, it has been pleasure out there, not just the Hyderabadi community. I've been able to support people from Kerala, people from Punjab, people from around India, and not to say not just the Indian community. I've been out there for some of the Sri Lankan and Pakistani community as well. So it has been a great thing, and I see this business like not just stopping there. I think the needs will grow. People will need these services, and there's no full stop to it. I think we might need more of these to come through in the future as well.
And that's quite true, and that's what I was coming to. What would be your best advice for the people who are aspiring or willing or looking at this industry as a whole? Because event management is an industry by itself, with my understanding, and there are a lot of opportunities, and I'm sure that there are quite a few gaps within that industry that can be filled by you or probably someone else who finds that capabilities or the willingness to do it.
Yeah, that's true. I guess if someone's starting fairly new who's not had experience, I think it's good to, get out, do some courses if they can, to understand what is actually required, because there can be certainly be some liabilities around, where you're doing your job. So as long as you're covered with your things, and you've got that support, and you've got some proper people or mentors who can help you out as well, trying to understand things, and events, it's not just basic say decorations. It could vary from basic decor to like fresh flowers. We do organize fresh flowers as well. It is a wide area to look at, so people can go into a particular niche within the events business as well. So just supporting corporate, for example, or doing live events outdoors, to other medium to small events as well.
So you say that there is opportunity there. So for the listeners who are listening this, would like to communicate that there are many, many opportunities apart from the normal businesses that people see, grocery stores and Indian restaurants, but the new ways of making money and the new ways of creating value, the new ways of finding innovative business solutions. And I urge all the people within the community and the people who are listening to this to take that initiative and give it a crack. And what is your best advice to for the people who are not able to jump the initial hurdle in sense of coming out of their comfort zones? What would you say them or ask them to do so that they can get started?
I think this is if they're young in their 30s or even their 20s, if you have the opportunity, I think you should start. It's never too late for a business to start. You actually have to think about where the future goes, and with AI and chat GPT kind of things coming up in space, there's certain things which AI can't do, and you'd be the one who'd be covering it. So think about your family. What future lies for yourself and your family, and give your best at it.
Okay. Look, thank you so much for sparing your time and having this conversation. I hope the community will step up to help you and support you in this endeavor. And if there is anything that on our end, if you need any services in terms of event management, we'll definitely give you a shout. And thank you so much for participating in this. And the people who are listening to you and me in this candid conversation will get benefit out of it and try and chase their dreams, come out of their comfort zones, and believe in what they believe they need to do. And I wish you a very best of luck. And I wish that your business lasts as long as your business in India is lasting, like Nawaz company established for the last 50 years. And I look forward for your business over here to last more than 50 years. A very best of luck on behalf of the community and myself. Thank you so much.
It's been a pleasure, Said Bhai. Thanks for calling me, and thanks for some good advice as well I've had behind the scenes.
No worries. And for all the viewers who are watching it, please do pass on your comments. I want to improve it. I know I'm not doing a perfect job, but at least it's a beginning. It's a start and I'm also trying to come out of my comfort zone, try and learn things and see how I can learn from young entrepreneurs like you and take it further. Thank you so much. Wish you all the very best.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.